So in this video, we're going to discuss how to check the jobs from the previous day to make sure everything was entered in correctly. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the day before, or whichever page you're going to be checking. And there's going to be all these jobs here. So you may be wondering, which ones do you check? The answer to that is we do not check the jobs that are listed under the divisions. We always check the jobs that are listed under the actual teams. And if there are any jobs that are not completed for some reason, that's something you can ask me about or ask our dispatcher why those were not actually checked off. Okay, so to check each individual job, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the job and then hit this little button right here, and it's going to take you to the job page. Okay, so the first thing we are going to check is the job items. So you're going to go right over here and you're going to click items. Okay, and the first thing we're going to look for is that we have items and payment entered. So this means we have the items entered, so 198, and then the discount, so all that's entered. And then what's really important is that we have a zero balance right here. So if there's any type of number other than all zeros, then that's something we need to fix. Okay, and in that case, we would email the dispatcher and the team leader and ask them to please fix the problem and entered it incorrectly. The second thing we're going to look at after we make sure the items are entered and the balance is zero is to make sure they started the clock. So right here, we can see that they were there from 2:45 to 2:51, which is a really quick job. So that must have been a small one. But anyways, they need to make sure that is entered in so we know how long they were actually there. If that's not entered in, unfortunately, that's not something we can re-enter in, but we would need to notify the team leader and the dispatcher that that was not done correctly. The second thing we are going to look at is the files. So let's go over here. There could be as many as 5 things in there, and then there's 4 things that are always necessary. So the first thing that is always necessary is a picture of a yard sign. The second thing that is always necessary is the picture of the estimate form, which is right here. And that should be signed, and they should have listed out what the cost was and all that jazz. The third thing that should always be listed is the work approval form. So I can see right here, that is all signed with the client's name. And then the fourth thing that is always essential is having a picture of the back of the truck in there. And as we can see, it was one item, so that probably makes sense why it was so quick. So those 4 things are always essential. Now, in this case, the client also wrote a review for us, and they got a discount. So you can see right here, we gave them a $20 discount for the next door review. If you ever see a discount, there has to be a picture in here of the discount or where they wrote the review to get the discount. And right here, you can see they pictured where she wrote the review. You can see it was the client and the review and whatnot. If you ever see a discount listed and there's not a picture of the review, then you need to ask the team leader and the dispatcher what was going on here. Why was there a discount but not a review? So just as a review, always needs to be a yard sign, estimate form, work approval form, and picture the back of the truck. And if we gave them a discount for the review, we need a picture of that actual review in here. Let me check my notes. Okay, and last thing. So if anything is wrong in the job, like anything wasn't entered in correctly, what needs to happen is the dispatcher who was on that day, as well as the team leader or team leaders that were responsible for completing that job and entering all this in, they need to be notified via email of the problem and asked to go back and fix whatever the issue was. And if it's unfixable, or if they don't do it or don't respond, then you can just notify me or notify the dispatcher. Thanks a lot.